You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show at the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. We don't have any new callers today, and we don't have a ton of callers, so we'll try to spread this out a touch. But we've got Mike Hebring, a.k.a. Packer Superfan.
Good morning, Ryan. Mike Hebring, a.k.a.
up, Mike?
Packer Superfan. So, Ryan, we finally heard from Gutey. It was good to finally hear from someone from the organization. It's a shame it takes so long, but it's interesting. I got to say, I feel a lot better about this team today than I did before that press conference.
Good.
I think a lot of things are going to come out of the press conference. Everybody's going to have their kind of hot takes, what they took from the press conference. And I think a lot of the focus is going to be, quite honestly, I haven't had a chance to really listen to much input. I've been really busy at work, but I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of hot takes in regard to his comments about special teams, and his comments about the cornerback room and all these things. But I think all of those are missing the point.
Sure.
I think the more important thing to take out of that press conference is that Gutey is pissed.
Yes.
That is obvious to me. Gutey.
And I had a similar, as you probably heard, I had a similar takeaway. I liked his demeanor. I liked that even though I don't like the whole, I don't know what the problem is and we're working through it, he is pissed. And that's why I came to, it is a hot take, I'll grant you that. But that's why I kind of came away with I don't know what his decision would be if it was up to him on the coaching staff. He's freaking pissed about how that went down. He is not happy. And you know what? He's not the only one. There's little things here and there. I might bring it up on the podcast upcoming. We got a bunch of stuff I want to do, salary cap and everything. But I think Romeo Dobbs, he did an interview, and he's kind of quiet anyways, but there was a couple moments in there where they asked him a question and he kind of just didn't say anything. It was there's some stuff, but I should probably just keep my mouth shut. Little things in there where it's I think they do know. I don't think they're ever going to tell us what it is, but I think they do know. And my hope is whatever that is, first of all, it's not the coach and GM. I'm assuming that's not the case, right? Otherwise, what the heck are we doing? Whatever it is, you take a frickin' chainsaw to it. Take a frickin' chainsaw to it and root it out and fix it.
He is not happy with how that season went.
Yeah.
And, he said a lot of things in that press conference, talking about, I think he mentioned the 5-game losing streak 2 or 3 times in the press conference. Is he trying to make a point?
And you're right, because a lot of times they hide from it, and it's the media that has to bring it up, and they're like, look, stuff happens, blah, 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 blah. He's the one bringing it up. He's the one that's freaking pissed about it.
That is absolute refusal to blame the poor performance down the stretch on injuries.
Yeah.
And, his comment about the fact that, we got to find a way. We had the players. We should have won those games. Right. I'm highly encouraged by all those comments, especially early on in that press conference. It's clear to me he's very frustrated. Clearly the organization is frustrated. And, all these discussions that Matt and Gutey and Ed Policy had, clearly this was a topic of conversation.
Right.
Because Gutey wouldn't stand up there in front of the world and make those comments unless him and Matt talked about them. So that's what gives me a lot of hope. Is that I think they did have some very hard conversations about the fact that, and I've been saying this for years, this draft and development is absolutely dead in Green Bay. And it's not because they don't draft players, and it's not because they don't draft decent players. I mean, is Gutey perfect? Absolutely not. You laid it out a couple days ago. He's what, in your analysis, and then he came out to what, the 13th best
Something
GM
like that,
in the league. Okay, so he's not in the top 10. But overall, I think he does a pretty good job putting this roster.
Part 2.
Yeah, Ryan, I think the 3-minute monster got me there. Just calling back, so I think I just went on and on, so I don't know where I left off. But anyway, the point I was just trying to get across is that I think that, there's a lot of good things coming out of this press conference, just in regards to, Gutey being upset about how this season went. And clearly, he wanted absolutely nothing to do with the excuse about the injuries. Now, I think we all know that the injuries obviously took a part.
Right.
But as the GM, I mean, he's got to say that.
Exactly.
Of course, there's a lot of things he's got to say in these press conferences that, GMs all lie. We know this. So, especially when it comes to when he starts talking about players and whether he's going to make moves or he isn't going to make moves, those types of things. I mean, you can't ever expect that he's going to give you straight answers there, nor should he.
Mm-hmm.
But again, my biggest takeaway is that clearly they had communications in these discussions between Ed, Gutey, and Matt, and because otherwise Gutey would not be saying the kind of things he said early in that press conference.
And to be fair, I mean, in addition, we talk about why did it take so long? There may have been discussions on, okay, how do we some media breakdowns, because there might be a lot of things that we need to have a discussion about. These are the things we can't say. You know what I mean? These are the questions we're going to get hit with. Obviously, there's a lot of feeling. A lot of people are upset, but let's slow down. Let's get our story straight. Let's make sure, because again, I mean, there's the truth, and then there's the truth that we want to portray to the media. And so we got to kind of be in line with how our messaging sounds.
His performance and how disappointed he was, and absolutely giving the coaching staff absolutely no outs because of the fact that they had injuries and those types of things. So overall, I'm very encouraged by it. I guess the only thing that really bothers me still is the fact that they still have this silly structure that Mark Murphy put in place. I feel for Gutey sometimes. He's got to sit up there, and Matt too, both of them. Matt's got to sit up there all year and do press conferences and answer a bunch of questions about personnel, and then Gutey's got to get up there. The few times we get him in front of the press, coaching decisions and Matt and all these things. It's just silly. That's why I want to see Gutey in charge of the entire football operations. Then you can have 4 or 5 press conferences a year with Gutey. He's responsible for Matt, so we don't have to worry about going to Matt and asking him questions. Now, granted, there's going to still be that conversation, those questions with the head coach. I get that. But the buck's got to stop somewhere, because right now this structure is crazy. I mean, you've got Gutey responsible for personnel, and you've got Matt responsible for the performance of the team on the field. And it's just so screwed up right now because of this silly structure that they still in place.
Yeah, that is fair. I've mentioned before, I don't really have an opinion on that, because I can't really think either way why I would necessarily care either way. But I guess I do see that in terms of, you need one ultimate guy to say, like, if the team's not, because I've always said it's either the coach or it's the GM. It's either the players are not good enough or the coach is not good enough. But if the GM is in charge of the coach, then it's always the GM, right? Because if it's the coach, it's still the GM. That's your job. You're the guy who's supposed to get the right coach in there. But if the GM has no control over that, well, then, I don't know where we need to go with this. And kind of like I was saying before, complete conspiracy theory, but let's say he's not happy with the coach. He can't do anything about it. He can't make that change. He doesn't have the ability to say, look, I'm getting the players, and this guy can't put them in a position to win. They're constantly failing, and I'm tired of it. He can't do anything about it. That's up to Ed Policy. Now, I'm sure his feedback is involved in all that, but it just puts us in a position where we don't know. With that being said, our ability to know or understand things is kind of irrelevant, I guess. So it still kind of doesn't matter. It just makes it harder for us to pin the blame on somebody. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Why don't we take a break here? We've got just 6 calls left, so we'll do 3 and 3. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Ben from Minnesota.
What's up, dude?
I don't know about you. I'm having a real hard time getting into this Super Bowl.
Bro.
I just don't care about these two teams.
Dude.
I think it's not even going to be a good game. Hopefully it's a defensive game, honestly. That'd make it a little more interesting. Also, I wanted to bring up, I think, I love the offensive lineman from Iowa. I mean, big fan of a mullet.
Yeah.
But
not going to get him.
I think we're talking about the wrong guy from Iowa. We need to start talking Kaden Wetjen.
Wetjen, sure.
Wide receiver, who honestly is very mediocre at best, wide receiver.
Okay.
But dude is a freak of nature at punt returns.
Okay.
Punt returns, throw him back there on the kickoff, do whatever. I just want to bring in a specialist just for that. I don't care if he does anything else. He can double as the water boy. We need somebody to return kicks. You can't even, I'm not even like, Rich Pisaccia, I don't think is doing a bad job. Guys just aren't doing a good job. I mean, you can't blame him for McManus missing the kick. You can't blame him for Romeo Dobbs missing the, and like you said, I agree with you when you said, the penalties. Like, yeah, that needs to get cleaned up. But, and maybe it is time to get rid of Rich. Can we just give him a different title? Can we hire somebody else for that and give him a different title to keep him around? I mean, can he just be like a consultant that just hangs around? Pay him the same amount. Who cares? Yeah, I guess that's all I got. Kaden Wetjen is my draft crush. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, so he is a kick and punt return guy. He's better at punt return, it looks like. But he's at, 28.5 yards per attempt on kick returns. 1 touchdown return. He's got 2 in his Iowa career, 1 this past year. 1 muffed kickoff, which is hard for a kick return, which is kind of unusual. But to have a 1-to-1 touchdown to muff rate, it's pretty remarkable. And then on punt returns, his yards per attempt on punt returns were nearly as much as his kick returns, 26.8, which is unheard of. He has a 95.4 punt return grade, 26.8 average return, 3 touchdowns, 0 muffed punts. In fact, he has 4 touchdowns and 1 muffed punt in his 3-year punt return career. He averages 17.5 yards per attempt, which is very high. Yeah, sure. He's what? Well, he's 5'9", but he's almost 200 pounds, so he's still relatively big. 61. Wait a minute. He's a wide receiver? He just doesn't play very. So he is like legitimately just a returner. Why is he even draftable? He has 25 receptions in his entire Iowa career for 204 yards and a touchdown in 3 years at Iowa. So yeah, he just does not. He's just a returner basically, who maybe once in a while might go catch a pass. Is like a trick play. Yeah. He's at 213 on the consensus board. That would make him like a 6th round pick. I mean, considering we don't have a single hit ever. Brian Gutekunst has 0 hits in the 6th round. I don't mind it. And if he falls to the 7th, even better. We've got, as usual, 3 picks there, including, which is kind of exciting, assuming we don't trade the pick away, the final pick of the draft. So that'll be fun. We get the Mr. Irrelevant pick. 7th round would be a little better for a pure returner, but again, we have a 0 hit rate in the 6th round, so why not swing for the fences on a special teamer? I'm down with that, for sure.
Hey, Ryan, this is Bill in South Carolina.
Howdy.
I just got done listening to your podcast about that had Gutey's press conference. I almost fell down when I heard the special teams. I mean, really? I mean, did he say that to Ed Policy when they were in there, before Ed Policy took the easy route and renewed everybody? I don't get it. I don't understand it. So looks like we're just going to be destined for what we've had for the last decades. Anyhow, but and then like you were talking about, there's got to be a reason somewhere. And if you're not going to fire Gutey, LaFleur, I mean, Lincoln, he had to fire McClellan being a poor battlefield commander, and that's what LaFleur is. I mean, I like him. He's a good play caller, but the battlefield commander part of it, he's failed many times in big games because you have to adapt. I mean, you could have the greatest plan in the world, and then the bullets start flying, and you have to adapt, and you have to change, or you're going to get slaughtered. And Lincoln took the hard route, knocked McClellan out, took him a couple other guys, and then they finally got Grant, who was a deviant. But still, he was a good battlefield commander, and that's what it takes. So anyway, Policy, I don't know. I think he just took the easy route, and we're going to get what we're going to get. But very disappointing, especially that special teams comment. We're like horrendous. What does he do? Stand up and clap when we get all these penalties, almost every single kickoff, and we can't block a kick. Can't block for the kick. I know McManus had a bad year, but still, he's a good kicker. But all the other things are horrendous, and we're going to stick with that for 5 years. Come on. Anyhow, all right. Well, we're still listening, and thanks for all the content. Go Pack, go.
Well, I appreciate you, and I agree. I mean, it's so hard. I mean, I guess we're just stuck. They claim that behind the scenes, we can't see it. He's a phenom. He's great. He does everything right. All we can see is the product on the field, which is not good enough. I don't know how those two things are compatible. I don't. Other than to say Brian Gutekunst is a massive failure. And he sucks at getting stuff. And if you ask Brian Gutekunst, what does he say? The same guy that defended him also says they've been very aggressive in going out and finding people. The only thing I can see here is you've been aggressive but still failed and suck at it. Or the coach sucks. I mean, there has to be something here. I mean, and this is to the point that somebody else made about, the follow-up questions from the media. Look, you ranked, I don't know what it is, let's just say 30th. You say that the team got better, but overall you had the 30th ranked special teams. That either means you don't have the right players on special teams, which is a you problem, or you have the right players, but you don't have the right coaching staff. So have you identified which of those two things is the problem, or are you still working on fleshing that out? I mean, again, or present me a third option. I mean, if you want to blame injuries, I guess you can try to play that game. But I already looked at, like the most penalized guys are like Bo Melton and all of our veterans and everything else, which is my biggest problem with special teams was the penalties. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think like most of us, or like you said at the very beginning of this call, you can't expect anything to change if nothing changes, and nothing is going to change. So, okay, away we go. All right, Jared the Uber driver.
Hi, this is Jared the Uber driver from Texas.
What's up?
Yeah, so I just saw that the first Australian game is going to be, I think, Rams and 49ers.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Hey, we go 1 year. It's like Brazil. It's a pretty easy color thing for Australia to be able to beat Packer fans. So I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. Go to the land down under. Hopefully they don't run into any of those freakish animals down there. So it'd be kind of cool to live in Australia, I think. Anyways, also I remember whenever we decided, or you as a dictator decided to skip all the calls. I remember one of my calls. I had like a few calls in a row where I was just asking about this free agent list that I found. But you mentioned Rasheed Shaheed is going to be a free agent. I don't know if the Seahawks are going to keep him or not. I mean, if he has like a kickoff return for a touchdown in the Super Bowl, they probably will. But is that someone maybe we should look into? Do you think Gutey might look into signing, not as like a? I don't know, because I know we still have Keyshawn Nixon as a returner, but he's really not the same since the change of the kickoff rules. And Shaheed has proven this year that he can return with the kickoff rules and everything. I think there were a few other free agents that possibly could be up. Of course, we don't know anything until free agency starts, but I think Khalil Mack was on that list. Who else was on that list? Oh, Tariq, or I think it's Greek Woolen now. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if he's had any good seasons since his rookie year where he had like some or big plays. I don't know if he had a great season, but big plays. Yeah. And also, do you think it's possible that maybe they will restructure Rashawn instead of just straight up cut him? I mean, they might. I mean, whatever decision they make, it's all right with me. But I don't know. Locker room guy, Rashawn Gary, is a great guy. So I don't know. Go Pack-Go.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that'll be. So, next week we'll be looking at more of this type of stuff. Our players, the cap, and free agents and whatnot. But that is a really good question. Looking at, obviously there's the draft, but, things like returner, who's in free agency? And Rasheed Shaheed, I'm just looking at it now. Overall, as a returner, was the fourth best returner. He had 18 kick returns and 23 punt returns, graded out very well in both. So he was the 13th best kick returner, which doesn't sound well. Let me even filter this down a little bit more. The 10th best returner, which sounds like it's not that good. It is very good. 33 yards per return, 2 touchdowns, which I think leads the NFL just on kick returns. And then on punt returns, he was the 5th best. 14.7 yards per attempt and a touchdown. So 3 total touchdowns. And one of the only guys to have a kick return touchdown. Deontay Banks, Ray Davis, Charlie Jones, and Kene Nwanu or whatever were the only other ones, and they each had 1. So that'll be definitely something to keep an eye on. As far as Willie Staylor, Willie go, it seems obvious that he would stay, but there are some reports out there right now that, they have to make some cap decisions, and it's possible that he could be a cap casualty. It seems impossible, but his price is going to skyrocket based on what he did this year, and it becomes one of those things of do you want to pay that price or do you want to go find somebody else? There's kind of two sides of that. One is you let the desperate teams go and do that while you find the next Rasheed Shaheed that isn't so expensive like you did with Rasheed Shaheed. The other is sometimes when you have it, you don't value it as much, so you're not as desperate. You look at that price and you go, I'm not paying that freaking price. That's ridiculous. Whereas the Packers, who are drowning, would look at that and say, I'll pay whatever you want. So it's not impossible, but I always kind of think it's going to be unlikely that a team just lets a really key component to your team just walk out the door because it's like, it's a little much money. I don't know about that. But without going through every single one, I mean, guys with really good return grades, which, by the way, we had, who was it? Oh, Savion was actually at a 71 PFF grade as a kick returner. I think that's something to possibly consider as a kick returner, maybe. If not, I mean, guys with 70 or more, great. I mean, there's 31 of them. I don't know how many of these guys could potentially end up being free agents available. Don't know. And they're probably going to be relatively low-priced free agents because the big money is going to come in if you can actually play wide receiver or play corner or play running back. So we'll investigate that when the time comes, but it's a good question. Okay, let's take our final break. We'll be right back with Nico from Idaho.
Ryan, how the heck are you? This is Nico from Idaho. So, just kind of reminiscing or just thinking about my big beefy men.
What?
I wrote a little poem.
Oh no!
And by you know who I meant, what I mean. But I wrote a little poem about the trenches.
Okay.
And I want to read it for you because I think it's true.
Good.
If the Packers want rings when the cold winds bite, they need big, beefy linemen built for a fight. Not finesse, not flashy, not pretty or fast. Just men who make defenders regret running past. Guards like brick walls, tackles like gates, collapsing the pocket, deciding the face. January football, ice up to the knees. That's when Green Bay feasts while the rest of the league freezes. You win in the trenches. That's how it's done. It's Lombardi's law written in the sun. And one thing that's true, no matter the year, the Bears still suck, loud, proud, and clear.
Oh, I thought you were going to say queer.
Go.
I really thought it was coming. Which, by the way, I think you're allowed to say now. I don't know. Somebody got in trouble for saying smear the queer, but then Bad Bunny said he was going to go do this performance in honor of the something about queer. I thought it was a bad word, and then it became a good word. I'm not really sure, but I thought you were going to say it, and that would have been hilarious. I don't even understand if that would make sense in context, but it would have been funny if you did. Thank you, Nico and ChatGPT, for that beautiful, beautiful poem. I feel like this is going to be an artsy end to the show because I think I know what Aaron's got for us.
Hey, Ryan, this is Aaron. So I haven't called in a while, and especially now with the ukulele song. So it's about that time again, but
let's do it.
I'm going to be honest, I've kind of had a couple, and so I'm feeling it. So my song might be interesting. It's basically a rundown of our coaching staff that we've hired. Not this new guy, but I mean the new guy's from Christian Watson's old receiver coach. Anywho, what am I talking for?
Just
There's a song to be played.
Yep.
Who took the bus here and who took their van? Who took my iPhone? Show of hands. Said, who took the bus here and who took their van? Who took my iPhone? Show of hands. Got that fire in your gut? Pew, 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 pew. Got that fire in your gut? Pew, 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 pew. There's more to John than meets the eye. He is more than just some awkward guy. The deeper you look, he's kind of fly. Don't take my word for it. Check his resume. See that first name Jonathan, last name Gannon. Hold on, I gotta turn the page. Hold on. Okay.
You wrote it down.
I heard you hate it and wanna panic, but then we signed on Bad Bitch Babbage. Don't fight your madness. Let me have it. See, Sam Seafkis, yeah. Yeah, Sam Seafkis. Okay. Then we ride with Daniel Bullock. Seemed like a guy that I'd be cool with. Yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
Dang, I got a whole minute left. Craziness. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, that was good. I thought I was going to be closer to 3 minutes, but here we go. See, this goes out to Chris from Alabama, worthy of carrying a Norse god's hammer. This goes out to Chris, the casual end, So I'm too old for this, and I'm no has-been. See, Chris from Alabama, worthy of carrying a North God hammer. See, this goes out to Chris, the casual end. A word from too old for this that I'm no has-been. See, Sam C. Kiss. Little improvisation, never heard.
Yeah, it's good.
I think I saw Sam C. Kiss in an episode of SpongeBob once. Or maybe that was just that really buff lifeguard who was a crab and not Sam Seekis. I think his name's Sam Seekis. I mean, I don't know. I just know Sam Seekis wore red, and so did that crab from SpongeBob. So maybe they're the same person. I wouldn't know. Maybe you do. I don't know. I need to stop drinking.
That was good. I'm gonna see if I can make that a song after this. After beer cheese. Thank you, Aaron. Really have missed your ukulele songs, so keep them coming, please.
Hey Ryan, beer cheese Benny here. My voice is still not back completely, but I hesitated to call in about this, but you know, after thinking about it with the press conference with Gutey and it, dude, like, I mean, I'm sure you kind of alluded to this. It's like, it's almost like they don't even know what the problem is. They don't want to address the problem. Like, they're just like, yeah, we're going to look at everything from every angle. It's like, okay, that's cool. Well, what's the problem? Do you even know what's going on and why this happened? Like, you know what I mean? It's so frustrating, man. As fans, when we damn near know the problem, and this is like, the front office seemingly doesn't know, and they don't address it, or they don't say, you know, because at least Gutey could have come out and be like, you know, this is where this went wrong, and this is what we're gonna do. Like, we're gonna look at this. Like, he just said, yeah, we're gonna look at everything from every angle. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is, man. I just hope that we have a clear, like, outline from this front office what we're going to do. So, I don't know, man. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, it's frustrating as fans because we can't know what the heck they're talking about. And unfortunately, all we can either do is trust them or not trust them. That's really it. And the trade-off here, though, is if you're not going to really tell me, and if you're just going to say, look, we're going to do everything we can, and we're going to turn this thing over, and we're going to figure this out, and we're going to do... Fine. If you're not going to tell me, and you're just going to say, trust me, we'll figure it out, then I'll trust you. But you know what I want in return? I want results. If I'm going to put my trust in you, I'm going to expect to see some results. And I understand there might be injuries, and if Jordan goes down and we don't go to the playoffs, I'm not going to be mad at you or whatever. But I'm not an idiot entirely. Maybe a little bit, but not entirely an idiot. All right? And if people are not performing and the results don't match what the expectations are, given the situation, then I'm putting my trust in you, and I shouldn't have. And if we get to the point where I put my faith in you and I regret that, then it's going to be time for you to go. Even if I don't have the context, because the context is what you have and don't want to give me. Right? Not that it matters. I can't fire you, but just know that that's the conclusion I'm going to have to come to. And that's why some people have already come to that conclusion, because I've put my trust in you and you have come short over and over and over again. And I don't know what else to do. But we're here again. They got new contracts. They're saying, look, we'll figure it out and we will get to the bottom of it. And we're all right. Well, the best I can do is say, I don't believe you. But sure, here's my trust. Go ahead, take the trust, take it and run with it, and frickin' dash my dreams again. But just know, I don't frickin' believe you, okay? Okay, I appreciate all the calls. We are at 0 calls, so if you want to get those in, please do. Otherwise, I will take the time. Actually, I need to take the time to do my taxes. But, if you call, we'll do a show. My wife's giving me like a daily countdown, and we're down to like 2 days. So I gotta. This is how I do it, anyways. This is how I was in school all the time. The project they give you like 4 months for. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna wait until the last day and then spend all day doing it. So that'll be taxes probably tomorrow. But happy Super Bowl to everybody, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Who took the bus here and who took their van? Who took my iPhone? Show of hands. Said, who took the bus here and who took their van? Who took my iPhone? Show of hands. Got that fire in your gut. Pew, 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 pew. Got that fire in your gut. Pew, 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 pew. There's more to John than meets the eye. He's more than just some awkward guy. But deeper you look, he's kinda sly. Don't take my word for it. Check his resume. See that first name Jonathan, last name Gannon. I heard you hate it and wanna panic, but then we signed on. Bad bitch, don't fight your madness. Let me have it. See Sam Sifkas, yeah. Yeah, Sam Sifkas. Then we ride with Daniel Bullocks. Seems like a guy that I'd be cool with. See, this goes out to Chris from Alabama, worthy of carrying a Norse bass hammer. This goes out to Chris, the casual end, from too old for this, and I'm no has-been. See, Chris from Alabama, worthy of carrying a Norse god's hammer. See, this goes out to Chris, the casual end, or from too old for this, and I'm no has-been. See, Sam Sifkas. Little improvisation never hurt. I think I saw Sam Sifkas in an episode of SpongeBob once. Or maybe that was just that really buff lifeguard who was a crab and not Sam Sifkas. I think his name's Sam Sifkas. I mean, I don't know, I just know Sam Sifkas. Sam Sifkas wore red, and so did that crab from SpongeBob. So maybe they're the same person. I wouldn't know. Maybe you do. I don't know. I need to stop drinking.